I've met people who felt like destiny, and then nothing actually landed. For a long time, I thought that meant I failed or I messed something up. But I've learned there's a name for that pattern. I call it the soul contract of almost. And if that phrase stings for you, you're exactly who I'm talking to. When I look back, the connections that didn't work out weren't accidents. They were contracts designed to wake me up. They weren't built for happily ever after. They were built to shake me into the next version of myself. For me, almost feels like a cosmic jumper cable. They come in, spark my system, light up patterns I've been ignoring, and then they don't stay. I can always tell it's a contract and not just random chaos when the timing feels impossible. They show up right when I'm asking the universe for a sign. I learn fast. Days or weeks with them equal years of inner work. My nervous system is loud. Not just butterflies, but alarms. Synchronicities pile up. Numbers, dreams, overlaps too weird to ignore. And here's the hardest truth I had to swallow. I can't force a contract built for a short term into a contract built for forever. These connections always hold up a mirror. They show me my wounds, my shadows, my habits. And then they leave before I get addicted to the reflection. It feels cruel, but it's precise. If the mirror stayed, I'd keep outsourcing my wholeness and essence to their presence. What do these mirrors show me? My abandonment programming, chasing people who won't choose me, my control patterns, trying to manage outcomes so I don't get hurt, my worth distortions, mistaking intensity for intimacy. I always ask myself, what was I starving to get from them that I've been withholding from myself? Where did I ignore my body's no because the chemistry felt like fate? What part of me prefers the chase over the quiet of real love? Honoring these contracts doesn't mean I try to keep the person. It means I integrate the lesson. Here's what I learned to do. I name it. Out loud, I'll say, this connection activated me. I accept the assignment. I release the outcome. I close the loop. I'll write a letter I never sent, thanking their soul, naming what surfaced, declaring what's new. Then I burn it, fold it, or put it away. I recode my body. My nervous system equates adrenaline with love. So I sit in breath work, repeating to myself, safe love feels steady. I replace the ritual. If I used to stalk their socials, I swap that with journaling, meditation, or sound baths. I keep a boundary sentence ready. If they orbit back, I know what to say. I care about you, but I'm committed to relationships that choose me consistently. That's closure to me, not a conversation. Integration. Every time I release one of these contracts, two things hit me. First, grief. I'm grieving the future I imagined. Second, space. That space feels terrifying at first, but it's actually sacred. When the contract is truly complete, I notice my triggers soften. My standards rise without effort. My energy stops scanning for them. That's when I know the lesson landed, because the compulsion is gone. It's not about whether they come back. The test is whether I still need them to. If this resonates, there's nothing wrong with you. You're in process. Drop almost in the comments if you've lived this and share what it showed you. If you want to work deeper, there's a free soul contract journal linked below. And if you're piecing together your own contracts, subscribe. Because I've got more to share in the next part of this series. I've had people come into my life who felt like they were sent just to hold up a mirror, and then vanish. At first, I thought that was a punishment or just a waste of my time. But I've learned the mirror isn't meant to stay. It's meant to show me what I've been refusing to see. So, what is the function of the mirror? It's when someone shows up. Just like that, it's not about them leaving too soon. It's about what I finally notice while they're there. These unfinished connections reflect back my deepest wounds, habits, and unhealed pieces. It's precise, not cruel. If the mirror stayed, I'd keep depending on them to see myself. That's why they exit. So, I'll finally look directly, without leaning on their reflection. What does the mirror show me? When I look at it honestly, the mirror usually points to my abandonment wound, chasing someone who won't choose me because it feels familiar. My control patterns, trying to predict, manage, or force an outcome because unpredictability feels unsafe. My worth distortions, confusing intensity and drama with intimacy and love. Those lessons sting, but I'd rather face the sting than keep living blind. The questions I have to ask myself when I catch myself in an almost connection, I ask, what was I desperate to pull from them that I'm starving to give myself? Where did I override my own body's no because the chemistry screamed fate? What part of me secretly prefers the chase over the safety of real love? Every answer feels like a cut, but also like medicine. The mirror leaves, but the medicine stays. The mirror doesn't stay because you're not meant to outsource your reflection. Intensity is not intimacy. It's a flare pointing to your work. Every mirror that leaves me with the truth I need. If you've ever had a mirror walk away before you were ready, know it wasn't punishment. It was precision. Drop a mirror in the comments if this hit home for you. And if you're doing the work of facing what's reflected, keep going. That's the real activation. I used to think every deep connection was supposed to end in forever, but some loves aren't built for the destination. They're built for ignition. They don't stay. They spark. And that spark changes everything. When someone crashes into my life and the bond is undeniable, it doesn't always mean they're meant to stay. Sometimes they're meant to activate me. It's like a spiritual defibrillator. My whole system jolts awake. I start questioning who I am, what I believe, what I've settled for. I feel pulled into growth I wouldn't have chosen alone. I suddenly see the patterns I've been carrying in love, in family, and self-worth. That's why I call these loves catalysts. They rearrange me from the inside out. Why the catalyst hurts? It hurts because everything in me wants to grab onto the source of the spark. If you woke me up, then you must be the prize, right? That's how I used to think. But the truth, the spark wasn't about them. It was about me waking up. The mistake is confusing the activation with the destination, and I've done that. I've begged the universe, why give me this love just to take it away? Now I get it. The love wasn't taken. The lesson landed, and that was the point. This is how I shifted my perspective. Once I see the catalyst for what it is, the energy changes. Instead of resenting them for leaving, I thank them for showing up. Instead of replaying what I lost, I focus on what I gained. Clarity, growth, a new standard. Instead of asking why didn't it last, I ask, what did it unlock? That shift doesn't erase the grief, but it does give it meaning. And meaning is what carries me forward. Here are 3 short ready lines to help you with your shift. Some loves aren't the destination. They're the ignition. The catalyst isn't the person. The catalyst is the awakening they triggered. The love wasn't taken away. The lesson was delivered. If you've had a love that broke you open more than it held you, that was your catalyst. Drop catalyst in the comments if you've lived this. And if you're walking through that pain right now, keep going. It's not rejection, it's redirection. I used to think the hardest part of unfulfilled love was losing the person. But the truth is, the hardest part is facing what their absence reveals in me. That's the shadow work. And that's why these contracts sting so deep. When a connection doesn't land, my first instinct is to look at them, what they did, why they left, what they couldn't give. But when I sit in the silence afterward, I always end up staring at myself, because these contracts have a way of pulling up my shadows like nothing else can. The abandonment I carry from childhood, the way I override my body's no to chase intensity, the stories I tell myself that I'm only worthy when I'm chosen. They don't create the wound, they expose it. They shine a light right on the parts I've been avoiding. I call this the shadow weaver moment. The truth is, In those moments, I feel like my own shadow is sitting across from me. It's not pretty, but it's honest. And if I'm willing to face it, the connection wasn't wasted. The questions I ask myself are never comfortable. Where did I give away my power in the name of love? What parts of me would rather suffer than be alone? What lie did I keep telling myself just to stay connected? Every answer feels like a cut, but it's also the cut that lets the poison out. How I turn shadow work into a teacher. The shift happens when I stop making the person the villain and start making the shadow the teacher. That's when I reclaim the power, because here's the truth. The shadow I resist runs my life. The shadow I face releases me. And sometimes it takes an unfulfilled connection to put the mirror right in front of my face and say, no more hiding. Here's how I remind myself to let shadow work teach me instead of break me. They didn't create the wound. They exposed it. The shadow I resist runs my life. The shadow I face releases me. Unfulfilled love isn't punishment. It's a mirror I can't ignore. If you're sitting in the ache of an unfulfilled connection right now, don't just chase closure with them. Sit with the shadow it exposed. That's where the real liberation lives. Drop shadow in the comments if you know what I mean. And stick with me. In the next section, I'm sharing the gift that finally comes when you let go. I used to think letting go meant I lost. Now I know letting go is where the gift shows up. The connection may not have stayed, but the meaning always does. This is why letting go matters. When I grip an unfulfilled connection, I stay tangled in the lesson instead of receiving it. But the moment I release, really release, something shifts. It feels like a door opening inside me. The grief softens, the noise quiets, and for the first time I can actually hear myself again. Letting go doesn't erase the love, it just frees it to become wisdom. Here is the unexpected gift from letting go. What always surprises me is what shows up after. The gift is never another person right away. The gift is me. My standards rise without me even trying. My nervous system calms down. I stop scanning for them. My energy clears space for love that feels safe and steady. And then, when I least expect it, the universe brings in people who align with that steadiness. Not because I chased them, but because I finally matched what I was asking for. I've learned to make letting go sacred. I thank the soul out loud for the role they played. I give myself permission to grieve what could have been. And then I remind myself, contracts don't fail when they end. They complete. That reframing shifts everything. It turns what I thought was rejection into redirection. 3 truths I hold on to when I'm walking away from a love that wasn't mine to keep. 1. Letting go isn't losing. It's releasing the weight that's not mine. 2. A contract that ends is a contract fulfilled. 3. The gift always arrives after the release. If this resonates with you, you're not crazy for struggling to let go. You're human. But on the other side of that release is peace you can't imagine yet. Drop a gift emoji in the comments if you're ready to find yours. And subscribe, because we're just getting started in exploring what these soul contracts are really teaching us.